back, brother. This content is for those genuinely interested in men's rights. It covers complex, controversial topics that may not suit a general audience. If you're not part of the men's rights community, this video isn't for you, so feel free to tune out now. I'm Conrad Reicher, a writer and advocate for fairness, dignity, and respect for men. This movement isn't about division, but addressing systemic injustices in divorce, family law, and societal expectations. Inspired by hardworking men unfairly stripped of their rights, I write for balance and justice. Together, we can change the narrative. Please like and subscribe if you appreciate this video, as it will help get the word out to those who need it. Thank you, please relax and enjoy. This is an excerpt from the New Class Order, How England's Social Hierarchy is Evolving. The New Class Order, How England's Social Hierarchy is Evolving, is an ebook available in all good stores. Growing up in a small, working-class town in northern England, I saw firsthand how class shapes every aspect of life, from the way people spoke to the jobs they held, the schools they attended, and even the food they ate. Class was the invisible hand guiding it all. My father worked long hours in a factory, while my mother juggled part-time jobs to make ends meet. We weren't poor, but we weren't far from it. The idea of upward mobility felt like a distant dream, something that happened to other people, not us. Yet, as I grew older, I began to notice something else: how the rules of class were changing. The old markers of status, accent, occupation, and education were being joined by new ones: social media presence, travel habits, and even the brands people wore. The game was evolving, and I wanted to understand how. This book is the result of years of research, observation, and personal experience. It's for men who feel the weight of these changes, but don't yet understand them. Men who see the world shifting around them and wonder where they fit in. If you're tired of being told that class no longer matters, only to see it play out in every interaction, this book is for you. If you've ever felt the sting of being judged for your accent, your job, or your background, this book is for you. If you're a man who believes in rationality, logic, and the power of clear thinking, this book is for you. But let me be clear, this book is not for everyone. If you're someone who clings to the idea that gender equality is achievable, or that toxic masculinity is the root of all evil, you're better off putting this book down now. Go read something else, maybe a self-help book about finding your inner child, or a novel about the joys of vulnerability. This book is for men who understand that the world is not fair, that hierarchies exist for a reason, and that strength and leadership are not just virtues but necessities. It's for men who want to navigate the complexities of modern England's social hierarchy with clarity and purpose. What you'll find in these pages is a no-nonsense, scientifically grounded analysis of how class operates in England today. You'll learn about the traditional and emerging class structures, how education and employment perpetuate divides, and how masculinity is being redefined in ways that often leave men feeling lost. You'll gain insight into how crime, politics, and consumption habits are influenced by class, and you'll come to understand the new elite who they are, how they maintain their power, and what it means for the rest of us. This book is not just an exploration of class, it's a toolkit for navigating it. You'll walk away with actionable insights that will help you understand where you stand in the social hierarchy, how to move forward. Whether you're a man trying to climb the ladder, hold your ground, or simply make sense of the world around you, this book will give you the tools you need to succeed. So, if you're ready to cut through the noise and see the world as it really is, keep reading. If not, put this book down and go do something else. But if you're a man who values truth, logic, and the power of clear thinking, then this book is for you. And I promise you this, by the time you finish it, you'll see the world and your place in it in a whole new way. With the introduction completed, we are jumping to an extract from the book. Flexibility is a lie, said a Deliveroo rider I spoke to last year. He worked 12-hour shifts, 6 days a week, and still earned less than the minimum wage. His story isn't unique. Across England, hundreds of thousands of workers are trapped in the gig economy, trading stability for the illusion of freedom. The reality? They're at the mercy of algorithms that dictate their schedules, their pay, and their livelihoods. This isn't progress, it's exploitation dressed up as innovation. Take the case of a former factory worker I met in Manchester. After his plant closed, he turned to Uber to make ends meet. He told me he now works longer hours for less money, with no pension, no sick pay, and no job security. I used to have a future, he said. Now I'm just surviving. His story is a microcosm of a larger trend. the erosion of traditional employment benefits, and the rise of precarious work. The gig economy isn't just changing how we work, it's reshaping class identity. The psychological toll of gig work is staggering. A study from the University of Oxford found that gig workers report higher levels of stress and anxiety compared to traditional employees. Why? Because they're constantly hustling, always one bad day away from financial ruin. The so-called flexibility of gig work is a myth. In reality, these workers have less control over their time than ever before. They're not entrepreneurs, they're modern-day serfs, bound to the whims of tech platforms. But it's not all doom and gloom. In recent years, we've seen the rise of gig worker unions and collective action. In the UK, the Independent Workers' Union of Great Britain has fought for better pay and conditions for Deliveroo and Uber drivers. In the US, gig workers in California successfully lobbied for Proposition 22, which granted them some basic protections. These movements are a glimmer of hope, but they're up against powerful forces. Tech companies have deep pockets and a vested interest in maintaining the status quo. The gig economy is a class divider. On one side, you have those who can afford stability, salaried professionals with pensions and paid leave. On the other, you have the gig workers trapped in a cycle of precarity with limited opportunities for advancement. This isn't just about economics, it's about social mobility. The gig economy is creating a new underclass, one that's invisible to the rest of society. Government regulation has a role to play, but current policies are woefully inadequate. In the UK, the Taylor Review of Modern Working Practices made some recommendations, but they've been slow to implement. Meanwhile, tech platforms continue to exploit loopholes, classifying workers as self-employed to avoid providing benefits. It's a race to the bottom, and workers are paying the price. The future of gig work is uncertain. Automation looms on the horizon, threatening to replace human labor altogether. But even if the jobs remain, the conditions are unlikely to improve without significant intervention. The gig economy is a reflection of broader class inequalities in modern England. It's a system that benefits the few at the expense of the many. And until we address the root causes, the new working class will continue to struggle. The gig economy isn't just a labor issue, it's a class issue. It's a stark reminder that, in the 21st century, the old hierarchies haven't disappeared. They've just evolved. And unless we take action, the gap between the haves and the have-nots will only grow wider. The question is, what kind of society do we want to live in? One that values human dignity, or one that treats workers as disposable commodities? The choice is ours. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your interest in the new class order, how England's social hierarchy is evolving, available in all good bookstores. Please like and subscribe. Thank you and God bless.